My name is Pauline. I am 71 years old. I am an old woman. I live alone in my small house. My husband died 3 years ago. He had cancer. I have only one son. His name is Dawson. He is 42 years old. I missed my son. Dawson lived far away. He had a job in another state. He was very busy. I looked at the phone on the table. It had not rung in days. He called sometimes, but not often. Still, I waited every day. I remember how he always cried for me when he was little. Now he was grown, married, had a busy life, and I was alone. Suddenly, the phone rang. My heart jumped. I looked at the screen. It was Dawson. I stood up quickly, but my leg hit the chair. The phone fell off the table and hit the floor. I picked it up fast, but it had stopped ringing. I looked at the screen. Missed call. Dawson. No, I said. Please call again. I waited. 1 minute. 2. 10. The phone stayed silent. I pressed the call button, but it didn't connect. Tears filled my eyes. I left a message. Dawson, I saw your call. Please call me back. I want to hear your voice. I waited all evening, but the phone didn't ring again. That night, I did not sleep. I kept looking at the phone. What did my son want to tell me? The next morning, I woke up with heavy eyes. I had not slept. My back hurt. I looked at my phone. Still no call, no message. I ate nothing. Suddenly, the phone rang. I ran to it, but it was not Dawson. It was someone else. A voice said, "Is this Mrs. Pauline Bennett?" I said, "Yes." "Who is this?" The man paused. Then he spoke slowly. "I'm calling from St. Mary's Hospital. I'm so sorry to tell you. Your son, Dawson, was in an accident last night." My heart stopped beating. My lips moved, but no sound came out. The man said again, "He didn't make it. We tried everything. We're truly sorry." I could not breathe. I dropped the phone. Everything inside me broke. I sat on the floor and cried like a child. No, no, please. Not my Dawson. I remembered the missed call. He had tried to reach me. He had something to say, something I would never hear. I opened the phone again. His name was still on the screen. Missed call. Dawson. 9:52 p.m. Just minutes before he died. I opened his last voicemail. It said, "Hi Mother. I want to tell you something important." Then it stopped. Message ended. His voice cut off. Lost forever. I put the phone on my heart and closed my eyes. I had no one to call me mother now. I was left alone. I wish I had answered just that one call. 1 week had passed. But for me, time had stopped. One afternoon, I went to the attic. I didn't know why. Maybe I just wanted to feel closer to my son. The attic was filled with dust and old boxes. There, I found a small envelope. It said, "For Mother, do not open until I'm gone." My breath stopped. I stared at the envelope. I opened it slowly. Inside was a letter. A letter Dawson wrote years ago, maybe when he moved to Texas. "Dear Mom, if you're reading this, maybe I'm not with you anymore, but don't be sad. Please don't cry too much. I know I didn't say it enough, but I love you. I always did. You were my hero. You gave up your dreams for me. You were always tired, but you still worked late nights. You cleaned floors, washed dishes, cooked food at other people's house so you could pay my school fees. You never bought new clothes so I could have school books. I saw everything, even when I didn't say it. I'm sorry for the times I forgot to call. I was busy, but never too busy to think of you. Every birthday, I remembered how you stayed up to bake that small cake. I wanted to be strong, but I was always your little boy inside. If I die early, I want you to know you are the best mother a son could have, and I will always love you from wherever I am. My tears fell on the letter. I held it to my chest and said, "You remembered everything, Dawson. You really did." The letter felt like a voice from heaven, like one last phone call finally answered. My heart still ached. I could still hear his voice in my mind. The days after the funeral were hard. There was no one to ask, "Did you eat today, Mom?" No smile at the door. But now, after reading the letter, I slowly began to forgive myself. I realized that Dawson loved me. He had remembered. And he had always been my little boy. Months passed. I didn't stop missing him. I never would. But I began to live again. Sometimes I even laughed again. People thought I had moved on. But I hadn't moved on. I had learned that love doesn't end with death. It continues in memory, in words, in silence, in every tear. Then one afternoon, as one sat in my chair, the phone rang. It had not rung in months. My heart began to beat fast. "Dawson," I whispered. The phone was in my bedroom. I stood up fast. I ran to answer it, but my foot hit the table. I lost balance. My body fell to the floor. My head hit the side of the chair. The phone kept ringing, but I couldn't reach it. I lay on the floor, breathing slowly, eyes half open. I saw my son's photo on the wall. In my mind, I heard his voice, "Mother." And I smiled. My hand stopped moving. The phone stopped ringing. A missed call. An unknown number. I never got up again. Later that evening, a neighbor knocked on the door. No answer. The window was still open. But I wasn't there anymore. They said it was a natural death. But people who knew me said I missed my son too much. My heart had no reason to wait anymore. And maybe, just maybe, that call was never just a sound. Maybe it was him calling me one last time. And this time, I answered. Pauline didn't die because she was old. She died because of love, a heart that couldn't carry the pain of silence anymore. Somewhere, wherever souls go, a mother and son were together again. No more missed calls. Just a long hug that would never end. If you like this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.